Welcome back everyone, John Pan here with another video. Today we're going to be going over Jefe de los Mariachis Sinclair, or as I'm going to call him, simply Mexican Sinclair. So, our Sinclair here is at level 30, his max health is 193, so he's on the tankier side, but his speed is so slow, 2 to 3. His defense is 41, his fatal to slash, damage, normal to pierce, ineffective to blunt. His first skill is Rola. It's a 4 base skill with +2 on his coin flips with 2 coins, so he can go up to 8, and on heads hit inflict 4 sinking, and sinking just basically makes it so that the enemy's SP is lower. Then we have Danza de Pasión, which is a 5 base coin flip with +1 on flips with 3 coins, so he can go up to 8, and essentially his first hit will give poise, and if it lands on heads it will give him poise count, and his second and third hit will inflict sinking. His third skill is Pañata Party. It's an 8 base skill with +11 going up to 19 potentially, and if the target SP is below 0, boosts crit chance proportional to the target's SP, and on heads hit it lowers this user's threshold by 50% of the damage dealt. So this means that Sinclair can very rarely ever get staggered. Let's take him into the dungeon and we'll see what he does, but before that, passives. His passive is Jubileo Hedonista. With 3 gloom, after a successful evade, lower stagger threshold by the evade skill power at a 5 times gloom resource percentage chance. Kinda useless because when are you ever going to evade in this game? Support, Juga con enemigos. 3 gloom, 1 ally with the highest SP deals, or 1 ally with the highest SP deals 10% damage to the enemy with the lowest SP. This seems kinda conditional, but I don't know how this works. This makes it feel like this skill will make it target the enemy with the lowest SP, but we'll see. The support also kind of conditional, don't know how it really works. Overall, his passive, you're really not going to use him for the passive. Let's take him into a dungeon and see how he performs. So, as usual, we're going to be using him in this team where we have our strongest characters. 3-star Faust, 3-star Heathcliff, 2-star Honglu, 3-star Ryoshu. In a human battle, the damage charts are going to be a little bit skewed because we're going to be getting extra actions in these human battles, but hopefully we'll be able to showcase just how awkward this character is, and we're going to cycle through his characters a little bit. And to keep things fair, we are going to avoid using the 3rd slot, so that's why we're just going to have everyone defend and everyone's going to get an equal 5 skill to try to make it so that the damage is equal throughout. So obviously the comparison is going to be a little bit skewed since we are going to be in a human battle, but I'm going to make it so that when attacking we're not going to be using the extra slots that we do get in these battles, which will arguably make it harder, but I think our characters should be strong enough to carry out the damage. As you can see, the damage is okay, but it isn't quite strong. The issue is that with our guy, he's definitely going to be suffering from a lack of useful damage type. So take a look at this. Faust is going to do what she does best, which is nail people down, and Heathcliff is also going to do tons of damage. Even with max damage, on hit, staggered enemy, 39 damage. His damage potential isn't that high. And the weird thing is that this version of Sinclair, Mexican Sinclair, he's catered to fighting human battles because human battles are the only types of monsters that have sanity. With Mexican Sinclair, you never really want to use him in an abnormality battle because 2 of his, or not even 2, technically his whole kit with his first skill and second skill revolves around lowering the enemy's sanity, and with his third skill he does more damage based off of what sanity the enemy's at potentially. So okay, this looks okay. Everyone roughly has 3 skills, so we'll just able to stack these skills. So everyone roughly now has 2 skills, so we'll have everyone just fully attack. 15 damage Panada Party, it's okay, but it's not exactly the best. Overall, I would say Sinclair only really shines in content where there's human battles, but even then, it feels very weak since he fills the role of a pseudo damage dealer SP drain tank against humans specifically, not against abnormality, just against humans specifically. He also, his coin flips are kind of bad because they don't have high growth rate. Like his Baya de Rola, it gives him really only plus 2 coins with 2 coin flip, and his second skill is even worse. It gives him 3 coin flips, but each coin flip, oh no, only 2 coin flips, each coin flip only gives him plus 1. So it's very low chance of it actually winning, because when you see it, it's a 5 base plus 1. It's so bad. Like when we look at the Baya de Rola, it's very hard to see in which instance would it make a lot of sense to use it, since his second skill, the chances of it clashing and winning is so low. It does give him, you know, poise chance, which can do decent damage, but even then, just comparatively, other characters can do what he can better. Even in the content where he's supposed to excel in, from what his kit should look like, he doesn't really do it that well. And if you look at it, Faust, tons of damage, and I try to keep it as even as possible. As you can see, down here is where our boy stands, and this is the type of content where blunt, you are more favored. In terms of damage chart, he is on the lower end, but surprisingly, Ryo should do even less. So, in terms of damage, not the best. Realistically speaking, Sinclair should thrive in content where you can do a lot of damage to human enemies because you lower their sanity, and therefore you do more damage to enemies with lower sanity. Currently, his kit feels very underwhelming because he's just being outperformed by just other units. I will say that in terms of comparison though, 2-star Honglu, 2-star Sinclair, kind of the same in damage, even Ryoshu. So in terms of damage comparison right now, these guys are kind of the same. I would say the bar right now is Cromer and Heathcliff when it comes to damage. I'd say overall, Sinclair, he's a character that doesn't have any content he really belongs in. He's not supposed to be played in abnormality battles, and he's supposed to be played in human battles, but even when you play him in human battles, number 1, he's very slow, and number 2, he doesn't do a lot of damage. In reality, he acts more as a tank than anything else, but in this game, there isn't units that can use taunt skills which redirect damage to them, so even then, there's no such thing as a tank character. There's just characters that can take a lot of damage, and he's just a character that can take a lot of damage, but he doesn't deal a lot of damage. So overall, unfortunately, there isn't much content for Sinclair that allows him to shine. I'd say overall, in terms of tier list, he leans towards a B tier, C tier character. I don't know where I would put him because there's just too many characters that outshine him. Overall, not the best character, kind of mediocre, but he does have that aesthetic, that passion to his character, you know, the dance that he can provide. As usual, let me know down in the comment section down below what you guys think about this character. I think that Sinclair, not the strongest, doesn't have any content he belongs in, but I will say Mexican Sinclair is a meme character for me. I like how he spins his, not spins, but he shakes his marachas. Marachis? Spins his, or shakes his marachas at the end of attacks, which is kind of cool because there isn't really any other characters that really do that. So as a fun gimmick character, not for his kit, but a fun gimmick character just for that little aesthetic, I would say he's fun to play, but he's definitely not a character that's anywhere close to being good. If you have him in your team, let me know because I do not use him. He feels very weak and not the strongest. That's about it. As usual, I stream on Twitch Monday and Friday, and I have a Discord community where we talk about all things Limbus as well as other gacha games. Anyways, as usual, John Panio signing out. See you guys later. Bye for now.